As a European traveling across the United States, I've always picked the most epic, scenic places to visit.
This spot is what you call magic.
Well, not this time, because in this video, I'll be crossing some of the least visited states in the country. South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa.
I never really heard anyone talk about Nebraska and Iowa as beautiful states.
An interesting shift for me after a year and a half in some of the most epic locations in North America. But I have to get to the East Coast somehow. Yes, I guess I could have driven down the Route 66 or via the Great Lakes, but here we are, trying something new. So I'm wondering, will it really be as uneventful as I expect? Do these states really deserve their low spots on America's tourism rankings? The journey begins here.
Welcome to Wasta, South Dakota. And no, you are not supposed to know where that is, because up until yesterday, I didn't know either.
In all honesty, there wasn't anything special that drew me to Wasta. It just happened to be on the way, and it just happened to have a dog-friendly motel. In the evening, I went out to explore the town.
So the town of Wasta is pretty small. There's like 65 full-time inhabitants here, I believe, and it is home also to a gas station, a motel, and of course the local haunt, which is where we're gonna go in right now.
Looks good to me. Let's see if we can meet some locals out here.
Quite possibly the most stylish chairs I've ever seen in my entire life. I love it. Hey Jerry, how's it going?
I'm going fine.
Yeah. So we're in, is it Wasta?
In Wasta?
Wasta, South Dakota.
Yes.
And you say you were born and raised here?
Not here, but in the area.
Okay. So you're a South Dakotan.
Yes.
What do you do for a living, Jerry?
I have a ranch, and then I also have a bar.
How would you describe South Dakota?
We have a lot of freedom in South Dakota. We don't worry about crime so much. What's important is family,
Nice.
religion, and freedom.
So would you recommend that people come and check out South Dakota?
I would recommend they come out and check out South Dakota, but I hope they would leave their values home and not move to South Dakota bringing the wrong values here.
Right, respect the...
Yes, respect the environment, and you'll have a good time in South Dakota. We have the land of the infinite variety is what the state motto is. It's beautiful out here, and we enjoy every day.
My name is Crystal. I'm a bookkeeper, and I do bookwork for a company across the state. I do that from home, and I also work for a rancher.
Oh, awesome. What's South Dakota like? You know, how would you describe it?
Peaceful, serene, and the wide open spaces are priceless. It's also a very diverse state.
Would you say that there's like maybe some like unfair or unjust stereotypes?
I guess that'd be on them. If they're unjust or stereotyping us, come check it out. But only leave your footprints. We're fine.
I am very far from home here. But of course, for many people, this is home. This is where they get that cozy and warm, fuzzy feeling of comfort and safety. And sometimes I like to just vicariously put myself in their shoes.
So I guess this is Wasta, South Dakota, and it's got just the most beautiful kind of dusky colors in the sky. It's so gorgeous. Tomorrow I'll be visiting one of the biggest tourist attractions in all of South Dakota, and it is not what you think it is. So I'm really excited. I'm just so excited about this. Good morning. It's a very early start for us today because it's not even 9 a.m. right now. And I'm super excited because we're headed to what I would consider to be South Dakota's most interesting and quirky tourist attraction. It's just a few miles down the road, so...
Time to leave Wasta, a town that, maybe surprisingly, left quite a lasting impression on me. Today I head southeast, but before I get too far, I'm hoping to check out, quite possibly, the most famous middle-of-nowhere store in all of America.
It was like, do I go to Mount Rushmore or do I go to the Wall Drug Store? A pretty easy choice. So what exactly is Wall Drug? I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but it is basically kind of like a truck stop, but more like a theme park. Slash souvenir store, slash novelty store, slash cafes and restaurants and delicious food and art galleries and all kinds of crazy Americana vibes. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. I knew jackalopes were real. I knew it. I just never thought that they'd be so large. So you know how I was trying to decide between going to Mount Rushmore and going to the Wall Drug Store? Well, it turns out I can actually go to both of them because the Wall Drug Store has Mount Rushmore in it. That was a lot of fun, but it's time to get going. I have about 300 miles ahead of me today if I want to reach Nebraska. Yeah, let's do it.
After gorging on Americana at the Wall Drug Store,
So windy.
we turned south and drove across a very different kind of place, the Badlands National Park. Yup, a far cry from kitsch monuments and souvenirs. This is a pretty wild place.
So I've been traveling across the United States for a little while and I've seen a lot of incredibly beautiful places in this country. And quite honestly, it has become my favorite country in terms of just the natural diversity and beauty. And but I never really heard anyone talk about Nebraska and Iowa as beautiful states. You usually hear people talk about them as states where there's a lot of corn being grown, a lot of farming, but not necessarily natural beauty. But you know what? It is beautiful here. These rolling hills and endless fields and forests and trees. It's actually quite amazing and it really reminds me of home. Yeah, it reminds me of home.
If you look closely, you can always find a slice of home anywhere you go, I think. So, Nebraska. It's one of the biggest corn and soybean producing states in the country, and that becomes very obvious the moment you look out the window of your car. Endless fields of green and gold, all the way to the horizon. As for me, I'm just trying to keep up with some of my routine, some of my training on the road. Today, I'm crossing the state of Iowa. Another long day on the road awaits. But I decided to kick it off in a pretty famous place.
Finally, I thought I would literally never get here because this place is so out of the way of the USA's biggest tourist attractions that I just didn't think I would ever come here. But here we are. This is so exciting. The world's biggest truck stop. So this truck stop, the moment you enter it, it's huge, it's absolutely vast. And at first sight, it does feel like a bit of a souvenir shop, but then when you look a little bit deeper, it has a lot of infrastructure and a lot of other things that you could probably, I think you could keep yourself entertained for at least 24 hours here. There's a dentist, a driver's lounge, there's a movie theater, a chiropractor, a pretty sizable laundry, an arcade. So currently waiting for the barber, right?
Right, yes.
Joe, where are you from, Joe?
Chicago.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
Truck driver.
Okay, is this like a real deal, or is it like a tourist kind of thing? Or do people actually, like, do truckers actually look forward to coming here and staying here at this truck stop?
Well, they got everything here.
Uh-huh.
You know, your chiropractor,
Yeah.
your haircut,
Uh-huh.
you know, all kinds of restaurant, you name it. Yeah, if you look out there, have you been out in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see all the trucks out there?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There you go.
Okay, I have a game for you. Tell me what state flag this is. Yes, Alaska. What's this state flag? Yes, it's New York. What's this one? Nevada. I can't believe it. I've just found the ultimate shoe product. I mean, the person who invented this should really be given a Nobel Prize for creativity, because this is genius. This is, wow.
I really wanted to learn a bit more about the secretive world of trucking and truck drivers. Who are they, and what motivates them to do this hard and seemingly unglamorous job?
What's your name?
Dallas,
Dallas, where are you from?
Missouri.
Okay, and what's the hardest thing about being a truck driver?
Being away from home. The longest I've been away from home was a year and 2.5 months.
Wow, on the road.
Yeah, because of COVID.
So what's the best part of your job?
Traveling, meeting different people, hauling different freight. 65 to 75% of all commodities in this country is moved by truck at one point or the other. But I pulled the I-beams that went to the new Freedom Tower, and when I got out of the truck, I was standing at ground zero from 9/11. Wow. It's amazing what this industry contributes to this country.
Yeah.
I still think about it daily, and it keeps me kind of humble in a way, but it keeps me motivated.
So to me, as a European, there's a lot of things about this truck stop that are simply, like astounding. And the sheer size is definitely one of them, because we simply do not have truck stops anywhere this big, anywhere in Europe, But I think the craziest thing that I've just learned is that this truck stop has not closed a single time in 59 years. What? Not a single time. I mean, that just goes to show how much of an essential industry transport and trucking are to the world that we live in today. I got a sticker. And it definitely deserves a spot on the wall of fame. So, turns out there's even a dog wash at the truck stop. So I'm taking the opportunity to give Vilk a much needed wash. He is hating it. I'm sorry, bud. Do you come here very often? Do you like it, buddy? No? You don't like it? Okay, okay. I think that was his way of saying, get lost. I know it's hard to see, but I have just crossed the Mississippi River, which makes the east feel just that little bit closer. Especially seeing signs for Chicago, and from Chicago to the east is not that far, so wow. Wow. This is real, this is happening. I've said goodbye to the West.
The west of the US definitely started to feel like home over the last 5 months. But passing through some of the least visited states in the country South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, was actually pretty eye-opening. This is, after all, the heartland of the USA. The areas that produce the most crops, the lands that feed the nation, the interstates that connect two sides of a massive and diverse continent. You can't avoid it, better embrace it. As for traveling out here, I think as long as you've got people to talk to and learn from, every single place can become a pretty fascinating travel destination. After all, travel isn't just about places. Really, it's about the people you meet along the way.
Hey, if you'd like for your name to appear in these credits, or if you'd like to get early access to all of my YouTube videos, or if you'd like to get access to my making of / behind the scenes videos for every single film that I publish on YouTube, you may want to subscribe to my Patreon community. There's loads of different perks. Patreon is where I usually post my early life and travel updates, where I make loads of exclusive content, and we get a chance to connect on live calls as well. It's a really, really great community, and yeah, if you'd like to see more of me, this is the link somewhere here on the screen. Anyway, see you in the next video.